I mean,
you
how
do
do you
it.
not trust Dennis Anderson, dude? If you told me I could jump over this building in my pickup truck, I'd be like, yeah, he's probably right.
This is not going to tear the truck up, most likely.
Shout out to whoever our helmet sponsor wants to be in the future.
3,000 views. We out here wind up, hit the box twice.
That was Madison. Did you hear the beatboxing at all?
Do what?
What?
Y'all were in the same sorority? Not funny to you?
No.
Yep, scared money don't make money.
All right, boys, here we go again. Another Checkers or Records podcast after a crazy weekend. Logan, you almost died this weekend. How you feeling?
Alive. Feeling alive because I didn't die. So
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good.
That's a solid point. Quinn, I know you're wondering why the belt's sitting close to me because Manny supposedly won it last week, but when the cameras went off, I think you can attest, I slammed him in the arm wrestling contest and went ahead and took the belt home with me.
Yeah, I did see that. Did you get tennis elbow?
I blew both elbows out because I was pulling with both arms on Manny.
My arm wrestling career is over after this weekend.
But yeah, shirtless arm wrestling with another dude will kind of put you out the game.
I'm done, dude.
But also tonight we got a special guest, one of our designers, somebody that's just a myth until recently. Nobody even knew about it. Nobody even knew where our parts were coming from.
They just got better somehow.
And it's Luke Moreau. How do you say your last name? Luke?
Moreau.
Yeah, Luke Moreau.
Yep.
Or Moreau.
It's Moreau.
Luke.
Lead head engineer and CAD designer. What's your title?
No.
Typewriter? Don't
It's
you work
not
on typewriter?
CAD.
It's not
Designer.
CAD designer. You can't say CAD.
No, he was insistent when he hired me. It was part of the interview process. He asked me, he's like, hey, man, I know that you guys are looking for a 3D CAD designer, but can we call me an engineer?
No.
Yes, you did.
Hold on.
Yes,
Is that where that-
I did come out, but it was.
Oh, this is real deal.
Oh, yeah.
The thing was, it was CAD designer was the name of the job title. But
Which is highly respected in this
Hold-
industry.
hold
But
on.
technically that means what? That's incorrect, right?
computer aided design designer. Not okay.
That's how we do it.
Oh, so
we
that's
double,
like
we
That's
double
like
down at S3.
I say don't nod all the time.
Oh,
Yeah. Nobody knows
So-
what a.
I literally
CAD
told Logan at the bottom of the hill,
designer?
don't not climb this hill.
Yeah,
And
he did say that. And look what happened. Yeah.
Made it.
I did
Turned out
not
good.
climb the hill.
Turned out good.
Yep. So my title's 3D designer / engineer.
So when Dustin sends
Designer.
you,
It's designer at the end, too.
so when Dustin sends you emails to design a new part, he's like, don't design this, right?
Right.
Is that what he sends it?
He
All right,
uses
cool.
that grammar all the
And then I tell him, do not question me. Don't even ask. Do not design this now, not later. So anyways, Luke's in here. He's
Yep.
been with us for a little while.
Super excited.
He's been following the podcast like a fanboy.
It's a true story.
Been asking every single night we do one, can I be on there with you guys?
I saw y'all leaving to go somewhere. I want to know where you're going.
I've got good stories that I can tell too.
I noticed your phone went off and mine didn't ding. Am I not in that group message?
Unfortunately, you are not. But tonight you are. Welcome to the podcast, Luke.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So yeah, we're happy to have you anyways. So for tonight, we're going to talk about some of the craziness that happened this weekend. We traveled pretty good ways just to go ride.
Yeah, pretty good. Every time we go to Oklahoma, a 6-hour drive feels like a 50-hour drive. I don't know why.
It does feel long going that way, though. Horrible. I think it's because we were on mostly 2 lanes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
We
it's
get
gotta
behind
be.
those slow people, which I tried to
Farm
pass one on
trucks.
the way home and just about totaled truck, trailer, and 5 side-by-sides trying to get around him.
I must have been asleep.
Yeah, we went to make a pass on that guy, and when we were coming around him, like it was a long straightaway, and I didn't get a good run up. And so when I got up beside him, he decided, well, I backed out of the whole deal. I was like, okay, that 18-wheeler's
no, I
coming.
didn't
It's
wake
time
up
for
for
me to
this.
back out of this whole deal. So I was like, well, I didn't get a real good run. I got a gap. I'll just slow down. Well, he started slowing down to let me go, but he didn't realize I had a 53-foot trailer that I had to get past him to before I could make the full move. And so he and I slowed down to like 20 on the highway, and he didn't know where to go. So he literally pulled off the right side of the road instead of just speeding up. We were door to door. He just literally had to speed up a little bit, and I could have got back in the lane.
At least he had the decency to do that.
No, this is the funny part, what he's not telling you. So Dustin obviously is in the wrong trying to pass this dude on 2 lane because there was a hill. Like, I mean, it was far enough without a 53-foot trailer.
No problem.
The truck killer, you can feel it. You get on the throttle. The truck's making all 400 or 500 horsepower. It feels terrible on the truck, and then a car tops the hill. And obviously, you on full brakes, his truck will coast down faster when you slow down. Dustin's over here saying everything but cussing at him. What are you doing, idiot? And I'm kind of looking my face out the window, just smirking because I'm like, you tried to pass this dude. He's doing everything. He's putting his truck off the road. But that's what happens. Most people are defensive drivers, so their first instinct is to get on the brakes. So I was cracking up, not looking at Dustin because he was pissed.
Phil was doing the same thing on the way home. He had his trailer, one bike, small car hauler, and he passes somebody, and I don't know, probably half a mile down the road, somebody else pulls into the road, and he started yelling and cussing at him. I'm like, bro, you've got a 90-mile-per-hour run. Go past him, too. Like,
Yeah.
what are you getting mad? He's locking the truck up, throwing us in the back of the seats. I'm like, bro, just pass him. You're fine.
Oh,
I
y'all
didn't
were
think
in-
I had room.
I already know Luke's like, yeah, man, I know those struggles. I got the taco. I got to drive a Toyota. I didn't have a trailer. I just had my luggage in. I couldn't pass nobody.
No, I will be honest. There on the way up there, we had all the luggage for Logan, DH, me, Madison, and all four of us in the truck in sixth gear. It wasn't going nowhere.
That's all the
I had
taco
to shift
Toyota
down.
wanted.
I had to shift down to speed up.
Multiple times that thing was, just screaming
Just to
and not
maintain
moving.
45?
Yes.
Just those of you that don't know, we have Jeeps, 3/4 ton trucks, diesels. Luke's crawler of choice, Luke's weapon for battle is a 90.
No, that thing's newer than that.
99. What year model?
2011.
Okay, close
Dude,
enough.
it's like new.
2011 Toyota Tacoma with the 4-liter 6-cylinder, right? It's
Yep.
got the big dog in it.
Yep.
And we'll get to that later on.
Yeah.
But
It's-
let's let everybody know too. It's an extended cab.
Yeah.
So
Man, it's like it's like
Four
the nice
people.
version, like color match bumpers and stuff too, right?
No, I did that myself.
yeah,
That is
did it himself.
That is plasti dip.
I can tell you.
Bro, that's
It looks
the
nice.
best
It
plastic
does look
dip
good.
job I've seen.
and you put it to the test this weekend.
Oh yeah, I even scarred up the plasti dip a little bit. A few places.
But I can tell you what he didn't do was make it into a 4-door with some big back seats.
Oh, yeah,
I
because you
didn't
had
do
to
that.
ride in the back on the
Yeah, I
way
rode
there.
in the back. It was absolutely miserable.
Luke, can you explain to us why Madison, when she's 5'2", she made 2 grown men ride in the back?
Her excuse was she gets motion sickness.
Oh.
That was her excuse.
Tell the full story there.
The full story was Logan came to sit in the front seat and she said, this is my seat.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
That's literally what she said.
That's
and
literally
then
what she said.
And then 4 hours into the 50-hour trip, I said, Madison, you do realize you have motion sickness because you're staring down at your phone the entire time.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
But when she said, this is my seat, did she point at the middle one like an old country F-100 that's only got one? And her old man makes her sit in the middle?
Yes.
Was she like, that's my seat?
She was like, this whole front area is mine.
The 60 of the 40.
Yeah, 60 of the 40, and then pointed at the back seat, just flicked her thumb back.
She
It was
did.
like-
She flicked her thumb. She was like, that's your seat.
What's
Is
crazy to me is she says that she gets motion sickness, but that day we went out snow drifting and you brought your truck. She was in the bed filming.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I should have brought that up.
Taking
Should have brought
pictures.
that. She was literally filming from the back of the truck, filming y'all. That's true.
There's a lot of
and she
lies
didn't get
going
motion.
on.
She didn't get motion sickness then.
This is all starting to sound real strange.
It is. But the place we went was MidAmerica Outdoors, which is a fairly new park. It's been around for a while, but it's really making a big push up and coming. But it's in Jay, Oklahoma, which is about 6.5 hours drives from us. But not a bad drive for what the place was. Like, we've been to a lot of nice places all over the country, and that place, what they're doing, not just where it is right now, because it's unbelievable right now, but what they're doing is insane out there at this place.
Yeah, the amenities at this place are on a whole nother level. It's worth the 6.5 hour drive for us, for sure. Not only for the course and the racing and the business side of things, but just the pro shop and the shower house and the pool that they're putting in, lazy river, and everybody can go and it be a family atmosphere instead of going to a place where the old lady sitting under a tent and getting dusted out all day. She's got something to do while we race and have fun.
Dude, it is literally so cool. It doesn't sound sustainable. When they're like, oh, this is what we're doing the next event. Bullfighting, monster truck, bull riding. Yeah, like you said, the lazy river, the pool, the bar up to the pool, the grandstand area watching the track. Like, it's all like steel, concrete, and they said it's all happened in the last couple of months.
2 months.
This ain't like, hey, y'all, this is our 5-year plan. No, cuz he's like, oh, yeah, we're going to have 150 RV hookups and this, that, and other before the next race. And we're like, what?
Yeah. In 3 weeks?
I mean, my perception of construction is Louisiana roads.
Man,
One overpass, 5 years.
5 years, easily.
So I'm like, all right, all this
True.
blacktop hookups. So my son will be able to race here. All right, cool.
when he's 15.
And then he's
15.
like, nah, for the next couple races.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
In the next 5 months, this is going down.
But really, that
Make it-
place was super nice.
Yeah.
Like, we walked in. I know I walked into the pro shop and I was like, did we die on the way here? Is like, are we in like off-road heaven?
It was like equivalent to a Cabela's for off-road.
It's a mecca.
It was really an incredible place, honestly.
They put us up nice too, man. We had a sweet little cabin with like 20 beds in it, overlooking the start line of the race.
Well, that's the media center. We literally got housed in the press box.
It almost became the unmedia center whenever me and Quinton got there. There was two 65-inch. Y'all seen two 65-inch or 85-inch. I don't know, how big were they?
Something like, yeah, in between 72 and 85. Hey, those never ended up back in the house when we left. There's supposed to be 6. There was only 2 there, so he said there was supposed to be 6, and there was only 2 when we got there. And then
originally, we jokingly were going to pull them out and put them in Joey and Tripp's camper, and then mysteriously it never ended up going back into the building. So that's now the unmedia cabin.
I have a feeling we might get a call from Jason and possibly an invoice for that.
Send it to WKP.
I'm just going to sit on my couch eating Cheetos out of my belly button and just be like, nope, don't know where that 73-inch, 75-inch TV is, man. It's not this one on my wall. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, that whole building was super legit. Right over the start, you could see the majority of the track, probably 90% of the track from there, and not even have to go outside. You sit there and look out the window and watch the whole thing. That's super cool placement.
And all the natural water they're going to mitigate through the track that was there is pretty wild. I don't know. He's got a crazy team together, dude. Everybody we met, his whole staff, most of his family, dude, hustled like. I mean, dude, it was crazy. The whole deal is wild.
That was my first thought. Is like, sure, like Jason has that vision, and he pushes it forwards and helps fund that. But when you see a place like that, like you realize that dude's got an unbelievable staff to make that kind of stuff happen in that short amount of time. It is not just him solely doing all that stuff.
No, I mean it ran flawless all weekend. They fed 2,000 or 3,000 people.
Yeah,
crazy promotional event like weekend, I guess, and then telling about all of his plans, and then literally telling us about the plans. And he met with the local government, like the state senate and all that stuff, that next day during the weekend, putting more stuff in motion.
I think it was a president that came down to Oklahoma. Do you think it was a president there?
Yeah,
I think it was the president of Oklahoma.
But if you're an off-roading dude, that's like a full adventure park. It's not just a place to go race or off-roader. It's like an adventure park, or it's going to become that. Amazing place. It's for sure a place that if you like going, riding, rock crawling, racing, swimming, you can go out there and do it.
Yeah, you can swim while watching the race.
Who can do that, bro? That's like a menage a trois of off-road.
Yes, that is legit.
Swim and watch racing. That's 2 for 1 deal.
I literally told Jason, "You've talked me out of wanting to build a race car and talked me into just wanting to come and race and hang out at the pool."
It'd be tough to make that decision for sure.
I mean,
now all of a sudden, Logan ain't got to lose his retirement weight.
Yeah, I don't have to lose dad bod because all I'm going to do is hang out at the pool anyway.
He was willing to get into shape to drive his race car, but not willing to get in shape, get in a swim pool. He's going to be that dad in there with his shirt still on, got a full collared fishing shirt on.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Tight.
Normally when you, and also too, if you go there to race, something happens to your car, you crash it. Normally you're getting out of your car and you're like, what am I going to do now? Just watch everybody race? I don't know, cuz. Strip down out of the fire suit and go straight to the lazy river or the pool.
Lazy river.
You got options.
You got options all of a sudden.
We had to kick it off right, though. First day when we get out there riding, for sure we were blazing our own trails, like riding around the place. They had some cool trails in the back, but then we came across the pond.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of our territory.
In the middle of the field. It had a levee on 2/3 of it, but there was 1/3 of exposed pond. There's one thing that I've learned growing up: when there's a partially exposed pond on a half-mile run up from both directions, there's only one option.
I knew what it was, though. That's one of those spots where you're like, you got Jason set up, and you're like, we need some dirt from somewhere. Send the track hoe over there. That's a track hoe dug pond. Mm-hmm. That was not a pond dug for anything else except get dirt, and it just happened to fill up. So I knew it was going to drop off quick.
No. I had called them ahead of time and told them we needed a skim pond. Told them, hey, man, we need you to go ahead and dig us a real nice skim pond. Make sure the grass grows back before we get there so it looks natural. But sure enough, so we got the cars stretched out running across that field, and you could skim that pond from side to side and never go down in it.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Most of us
if
did.
you're going fast enough.
Yeah.
Logan, you got really wet on that one. So you had a weekend of
sketchy moments.
You like to start out slow and cautious, and that's not always the best route.
No,
that ends
it's
up
not.
being the sketchiest.
Typically, I try to start out slow and cautious because I don't want to die, and then it leads to possible death or getting soaking wet.
But 2 times he almost got himself in a bad spot doing that. It was with the skim pond, right?
Oh, yeah.
He didn't get such a good run up. I could hear him feathering the throttle as he was coming at it.
Yeah.
Knew he wasn't
first
gonna make
time. First time. Thought I had plenty of throttle.
Luke's no expert at this, and I could tell by the look on Luke's face when he turned around and looked at us. He was like, "Oh man, this ain't gonna be good."
Yeah. It wasn't good.
It didn't help that like as Logan's coming at the pond, like he's to the point where there is no return, and DJ's going, "Get out of the way! Don't do it! Don't do it!"
Were you really?
Yes,
Oh,
I was like,
see that.
Yeah, he was
God,
like
man, he's so-
flailing his arms and everything.
Yeah, you were at the point to where you were too slow. Where we're like, man, this might not make. He's gonna get really wet or flip the car, and then you were also at the same second too far to shut the car down fast enough to end up not in the
Oh,
pond.
I'm not going in and backing out. So something's going to happen. It's not going to be quitting.
And I know a lot of people always wonder, like, "Oh man, how deep was it actually? Were you actually skimming?" But we were, because that Defender rode through it after we had hit it a few times, and like he showed us.
Your driver's side tire was over 3 foot of water. Your passenger
like-
probably 2.5, 2.
He was like
maybe a little
seat
deeper than that. Pretty deep.
So like, yeah, it was deep enough to go
Bad.
over the seats up to the steering wheel, like sink a bike potentially.
But that's not what's going to happen. Well, I don't know what it is about those tires did better, because the only time we've skimmed that far was Sand Hollow, which was way shallower than that. And then out at the dunes, but
Sahara.
sand tires, man, want to cross the car up like bad.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I think you almost flipped a car, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, they'll get to fluttering in the back, I guess, because the paddles are not hitting at the same spot, and it will get the car to shaking whenever it's going across.
So normally when those go bad, it snatches the wheel out of your hand and something's going over on the roll cage.
Bro, that's why I was scared to do it, because when we did it at Little Sahara, I had my old Turbo Maverick, and it snatched the wheel out of my hand right at the end and almost flipped the car. And I was like, I'm not doing this junk again. This is not worth it. And then everybody else does it, and here I am sitting on the side. No, I've got to do it now.
Now I know why you don't come hang out with us after work and go hunting, because it's not that you don't want to do it, it's that we can talk you into doing something that you don't want to do.
Exactly right. That's
Speaking of
100%
talking
right.
somebody into doing something, so we talked everybody into it. Cord ended up hitting it. Phil ended up hitting it in his naturally aspirated rig. You was out there in a taco. We almost.
I was close. I had my keys in my hand. I did.
This is no exaggeration. He watched us skimming in side by side, which we're hitting it at, I don't know, 70, 75 miles an hour.
That's quick.
Rolling. And Trip and Joey get to get him fired up and almost talk him into taking that Toyota and skimming it.
I was close. I got to the point where I looked at DJ and I was like, do I do this?
That's the dialect that's funny to me. DJ told us afterwards, because none of us knew this. We heard this afterwards, and we're all riled up. Obviously, we're joking with you.
Yeah.
But you
No.
were like,
You say obviously we're joking, which I thought the same thing. We were all laughing, having a good time. You think obviously we're just playing. You're not going to skim that in your truck.
Yeah, then
I was thinking
D
about it.
told us, turned to you,
I
and
was
he
thinking
goes,
about
hey, like, away from everybody, like, hey, D, do you think I should do that? And he
He's
said,
like,
I
no.
looked at him like, dude, no. What are you talking about?
No, the taco wanted to go 75 on that interstate. Why would you do it out here in this corn or the
Look,
cow pasture?
You say that. We'll get
Yeah,
into
oh,
it
really?
later.
Here we
That
go.
thing might have maintained. You would have to hit it literally at 80, 90 miles an hour.
And we're only speaking from experience because we've skipped vehicles across a pond before during the $500 car race.
That's right.
So we know what it takes.
50 in a Mustang minus the weight of the exhaust will get you 2 skips.
2 skips and then straight to the bottom.
It's almost straight to the bottom. An S10 with no door on it will go straight to the bottom.
Straight to the bottom and cause everybody to jump in and try to save your life.
Yeah.
Because you got your seatbelt on and can't get out.
Yeah, I didn't feel like dying. So
Dude, that's another level of trust, and it's how naive Luke is at this point, coming with us, that he legitimately, when Joey and Trip were beating on him, he turned to me and legitimately said to me, hey, Dustin, should I try to skip it? I said, Luke, are you serious about this?
I mean, I've never watched somebody try to skip a car or a
There's a
vehicle
reason.
over a pond.
There's a
and I was
reason.
like, I mean, maybe.
It's either too dangerous to show on TV or people don't make it.
And that's why they don't show it.
Legitimately, it was in your mind that you were willing to try to skip that.
It would have taken a lot, but it was getting there.
And why is it? Do you have a false self confidence that you don't realize what can go bad? Did you trust that we were telling you right, or it was just the peer pressure?
I trusted that you and DH and Logan wouldn't have let me do something that was going to kill me, one. And second,
Not Quinton, though, right?
no, not Quinton. No,
Exactly.
I would
know
have
he wouldn't
never
me.
let you skim that truck. I'd be like, hey,
But-
do you want a new truck? Because, yeah, go ahead and skim this one. 'Cause
It's
we're about to
gone.
bury this
And
thing.
be like, tell the insurance claim, I actually fell into this pond in the middle of a field.
You ain't even got to tell them that. You can say, hey, look, I was around my buddies, and they told me I could skim this thing. I thought I could make it, and I accidentally didn't.
I
So
accidentally did. No,
I read
but,
my policy, and this is covered.
But I mean, part of it too is like trying to. I mean, I got a shot in the taco. I'm in the taco. So gotta show out.
Can we just agree there was a whole weekend of the taco show out?
It was pretty sweet.
I didn't think that truck would go as well as it does.
It was almost the taco show outs and blowouts
Man.
It was close.
on multiple occasions.
You're the first one I know that's moonwalked a taco. And
I ain't never seen it.
it's a term I've just learned this weekend, actually, from Dennis Anderson and his son. D, go and tell him what moonwalking is. You've done it
Yeah,
too.
crazy thing, dude, is we ended up running into Dennis Anderson, gravedigger out there. One of the coolest dudes that I've ever met.
Very down to earth man and super freaking smart.
Real smart, real cool.
Easy to talk to.
Man, funny.
I almost went fanboy. I was like, Mr. Dennis, when I was like 9, my parents took me to your shop in North Carolina, and I sat in the tire. But then I was like, no, I better not say
Did
that.
you ask him, do you remember me? Do you remember me?
You weren't there, but you remember me. You remember me on the security cameras?
Remember I was the one that cried a lot? I was scared.
Yeah. I was scared of that big truck. No, but I really did go to a shop when I was like 9. It was pretty sweet back then.
So we described the race car wreck that we talked about in the other podcast from Texplex, standing the car on the nose, and like how I was able to walk it out to the wheels. And apparently he calls that
Moonwalking.
in monster trucks.
Yeah, like when they do it on those monster trucks, it's called moonwalking. Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
When he puts Gravedigger up on the nose, they're moonwalking. What was funny to me is talking to him is you can tell he's like us on another level with a whole lot of money, because he dreams up something he thinks a good idea, like skipping a pond in a taco. He's gonna do it.
Well, now his son's the stunt deal, remember?
Yes.
He's like,
Yes.
no, I make him do them
So
now.
they were talking about just a world record jump in a monster truck and like trying to set a world record or whatever. And he was like, "Oh man, the current world record is 175 foot, whatever it is." And he was like, "Yeah, we're trying to jump this distance." And Quinton was like, "All right, well, obviously a legitimate question, trying to gauge like, do you know what it takes? Have you ever felt it?" Quinton was like, "All right, so like, how far do you usually jump, or like how far have you jumped?" What did he tell you?
Yeah, he's like, oh, well, I mean, on average, we know what the truck will do when we jump 60 foot. And they're talking about going over 200.
Yeah. He said 60 or 80 feet.
And he
about
didn't
normal
say
jump.
anything about building a jump that they're going to move back on or run up to. It's going to be, well, we know it takes this to go 60. The truck weighs this and the ramp angle's this. So we're going to have to hit it about 90.
Yeah, he was. I don't know if he was
And
being
then-
serious, but he was like, "This is what I look like when it does a 45 mile per hour. This is what it looks like at 60 mile per hour." He's like, "So I know we got to do that to get here. So it's going to be at least this."
I didn't see no CAD designers with him this weekend. So
I know, sir. The funniest part about that, though, is he's talking about this with his son that's sitting right there, and his son's just like, "Yep."
And he's the one that's
Yep.
gonna have to do the jump.
And he's
Yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
jump.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's
I mean,
trust.
When
I
that's the
seen-
stuff you do, it's just like your scenario with me and DJ and DH. You just trust that it's going to be
Right.
okay, or you trust that they're not going to.
I mean, how do you not trust Dennis Anderson, dude? If he told me I could jump over this building in my pickup truck, I'd be like, yeah, he's probably right. He's done it before.
I've seen him do some
knows.
stuff, so I'll try that.
It's
Yeah.
probably a good thing he was not there to watch me skim the pond in the taco, because he probably would have talked me into it.
100% Dennis Anderson gonna tell you to skim it.
100%.
Every time. Just listen to him talk and his ideas, he would have told you to
For
skim
sure.
it, for sure. But the taco almost didn't make it through the weekend.
No, it didn't. It was close a few times.
The hill climb is where it all started out. We hit the rock bouncer hill and sent all the side-by-sides up, and Mr. Mal actually made it up. But then you made Madison get out because she was driving, and you decided you was going to climb
There
this.
was no way I was letting her do that.
Are you
Which
talking
one?
about
Yeah,
the
which
one
one?
by the racetrack? Or are you
Yes,
talking about over there?
the
Other ones?
long, steep climb that he
yeah.
battled and battled.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She was driving.
Yeah, for a couple minutes.
Oh,
no, she was driving most of the day at the park. So the footage y'all see, that's not Luke driving. That's Madison.
maybe she's got 100% of the front seat.
When y'all hear it wind up and hit the box twice and grab the next gear real smooth, that's Madison.
That was Madison.
If you hear and it dies, that's Luke. You
Yeah.
got that old bus driver school pedal going, wow, wow, wow.
No, but coming up that hill was a battle for that little truck.
No, it was a battle
I
for
thought
you.
it was going to make it, dude.
It was close.
And you made a couple of valiant efforts at getting up that hill.
Yeah, I backed up, and the first time I tried it was in first. That wasn't enough wheel speed. So I dropped down that hill, put the back wheels in the water, in the ditch, the creek, whatever that was down there, put that sucker in second, and dropped the clutch.
Did you hear the beatboxing at all?
Do what?
What?
He doesn't know that term yet. We just learned this weekend too, but
No.
we're experts at it.
Yeah, I don't even think I'm using it correctly yet, but for now. Did you hear the
Well,
beatboxing?
I don't know what that is, so you're gonna have to explain it to me. But I definitely hit the box.
You did.
Oh, so sort of knows what it means.
Yeah, so he kind of did.
His box wasn't very
kinda
strong
did.
then.
Yeah.
You're always late on. You're always late on the box though. You had me and D so aggravated.
I about
when we
gave
were,
up on you.
Trying to coach. We're like, bro, this is not going to tear the truck up. Most likely.
You're on wet.
Most like I said, would never trust Quinton.
Exactly.
I was like, get on the throttle sooner.
You're on wet soil.
You
Just spin the tires.
You
The
got
tires were spinning. That was the problem.
No, you got the Logan run up. You was, and then when things get sketchy,
Then
you
you
ain't
go
got
right.
enough
Then you go
power
throttle.
to pull out. You got to get on it sooner.
You
But,
got to start watching some of them YouTube videos of what are those little mini trucks on the
dude,
two-step?
anything. I just go 2JZ swap Toyota.
If you ain't seen it,
with the Arab tune, 'cause, dude,
They
you think they're
freaking
stuck.
fly.
You think they're stuck,
No,
and
sir.
then, bro, when
20
it
foot
comes
roost,
on,
and bye.
they're hanging stuff on the tree limbs, and then all of a sudden things starts moving.
Luke has no idea what he's talking about or what we're
But that's-
talking about.
that's-
we're going to show you some videos because from now on, that's how you're going to need to ride.
All right, understood.
At the bottom of the hill, you're going to have to hit the two-step,
Okay.
boosted launch, and don't let off till you come over the top of the hill. And when you get to the top of the hill, sling the truck around and spray everybody.
Yeah.
Sling the truck
Put some
around.
of those snow skills to work.
Yeah, kick it
Send
around.
everybody running in their Crocs.
That's the only way to do it right. That was a strong run up. We ended up having to winch you out of there, but there was one that we almost wasn't able to winch out of.
Oh man.
The downhill.
Go.
And it sounds easy enough.
Which
Well,
one?
The downhill.
Coming out when we were coming back into like by Viagra, you're talking about that one, right?
Remember the
the
steep
waterfall drop.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just gonna start from when we were coming down that trail. When we were coming down like the line of side by sides, I had my windows down. Everybody's making eye contact with me, like, bro, don't go down there. Like literally, I had 2 or 3 people saying, "Hey, do not go. It's sketchy down there. Don't take your truck down there." And I was like, I literally told him, "Nah, I've been through more sketchy stuff."
No, he's
For
looking
sure.
past Madison. He goes, "Psh."
We got this. We got this. I just come right after. I heard. I didn't see Mal's Jeep go down, but I heard somebody say, "Oh man, I can see the bottom of his Jeep." And at that point, I'm like, "Oh,
Yikes.
Well, that's because Miss Linda was looking out the top of the Jeep straight out at us
Yeah,
where
that's
we had
true.
just gone down.
It was
Yeah.
a water. So what it was a waterfall step down. It was the last spot of this trail before you get out into the main riverbed. But we had so many people that were riding at this
Packed up.
big meat run over in Disney, Oklahoma. There was you couldn't back out. It was too late. Like when you got lined up on the trail for this big waterfall, from the bottom it didn't look that bad. Like when we came up to the first time, I didn't think it was that bad. But when you got lined up on it, there was no way for you to get back out of it.
yeah, there was no way." That was it. I had to do it. And so I come up to it, and DJ comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, when you slide down this little rock here, this big old rock here, hit the gas. Because if you don't, truck's probably going to flip." And I was like, "Okay, got it, understood." Obviously didn't understand.
I could tell by that 1,000-yard stare in his eyes, he didn't hear a word
Yeah,
that I said. He was
obviously-
going,
obviously didn't
okay,
understand. Yeah.
okay, I got it.
And so I come down the hill, and it hits the ground hard. And all I could do was like, all that was keeping me like up off onto the seat was my foot pushing down on the brake pedal. Madison's arms and legs were legit hanging off the seatbelt. She was hanging there. And so the truck just kind of like stands on its front, falls off to the side, and freezes.
The butt of the truck tried to pass up the front end.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah,
for sure.
It slid over a solid,
For sure.
6 feet, 4 feet, something like
Yeah.
that.
And so after that happened, which felt like 10 years, DJ was like, "Okay, it stopped. Pull forward." And so I pull forward and it drags the bumper, and I got out, and everybody was like super excited, and I was too because I didn't ruin my truck. So.
And I thought that was the end of the taco because I know what happened. We slid off that hill. It was a pretty good drop to the bottom. And when he hit the bottom, it was a little off camber and it jerked the wheel just enough to give him limp wrists, bro. And he just let go of the wheel and fell asleep.
I was scared. I'm not going to lie. It was scary.
Literally, he was already taking a nap when we got over to his truck.
It was sketchy for us in the X3s pulling down.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't see, I think you went first, didn't you?
Oh,
and
yeah,
I couldn't
always.
see, I couldn't see DJ's car from where I was. Once he dropped off, I was like, crap, that's way down there. And then I was like, well, he made it, I'll be good. So I went down it, but when I could see Mr. Mal's Jeep, and you were literally looking in the back seat straight on.
Through his roof.
Through the roof. I was
Well,
like,
yeah,
oh
you know
my
the approach
God.
angle on like a Jeep with a bumper. Like y'all's bumper, Mal's bumper was about 2 inches from touching the ground.
Yeah.
That's how steep the Jeep was on the nose.
Well, I saw side by sides come up when we were
I
sitting there
couldn't believe
waiting.
they made it up.
They were jumping up. It wasn't like a little climb. Like they were running up to it and stepping up on top of it. And one of those, I don't know, have a clue how it got up there, but
I watched
it
them. I was
did.
like, wow.
But going down was super sketchy.
So Luke, Dustin told you had to come down those obstacles. He told you to drag the e-brake so your foot's off your brake so you can be ready for a full throttle stab.
Yeah, like he said, I had that 1,000-mile stare. I didn't know what I was doing.
So now we know from now on, you pull the seatbelt all the way out to you hear rant and let it ratchet back in and hold you to the
Hold me to the
seat.
seat.
Drag the e-brake.
Yeah, but
unless you want to moonwalk, you know what I'm
time
saying?
before
So-
that, though, that e-brake was sticking, so that was kind of freaking me out.
Oh yeah, we thought you blew the rear end
Yeah.
of the truck.
God, dog, that was a whole nother obstacle.
Oh, my God.
That was the staircase.
That was just
the staircase.
yeah, that
it was
was
like boom, 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 just steps.
Was that the that one he had to go around
Yeah, I
eventually?
ended up having
The
to
one
go
with
around
the
that one.
the one with the axle at the bottom of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, right at the
Which
bottom
was
of the thing.
almost mine.
We were pulling up to it, and I was like, Quinton, look at that axle in the middle of the trail. And I looked up at the hill. I was like,
Oh, that's
we got
why.
bad. We
Yeah,
got bad.
that's why.
No, it's a bad trail if there's an axle bar at the bottom of the hill.
yeah. When the uphill side is covered in black from it getting blue grooved, you knew people were on the freaking wood trying to get up.
It was like perfect distance. All the steps were like chalk the front tires as soon as the rear tires were trying to come up. So like you just had to bounce and hammer your way up.
Taco couldn't do it.
No, it probably could have, but like I said, you always take that soft pedal approach, that Logan approach, and
Yeah,
you're just not gonna cut it.
I need a front locker and some tires, and I would have probably made it. But
No, what you need to do is what we used to do on our old mud trucks and put Velcro on the back of your gas pedal, and when you stab it to the floor,
Stays there.
right.
it locks
Right,
wide
no
open throttle.
matter how much you're bouncing around in there,
Yes,
it's
sir.
locked down.
Bro, you use some
Bro, I need to
3M
do that.
Velcro.
I need to do that. I'll just design something where I can hit a button, it'll activate the Velcro.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
A pedal clicker, like an e-brake where you got to press it twice.
Yeah, you're getting too fancy with it. We used to tie a piece of string to it that hung up like a trucker's horn. And so you stomp the gas and you hold on, keep it pointed straight, and you reach up and pull the trucker's horn and it.
You talking
That's
about
it.
like when your carburetor spring goes out on the throttle pedal in your
Yes.
go-kart, you got to have the return, the pedal
Yes.
return cord.
That's exactly what it's like. So we put that on your truck and you'll start making quite
I'll start
a few
making,
more
and I'll
obstacles.
probably break a lot of axles.
No.
you'd be
No. But you did put that plasti dipped bumper to the test on the waterfall.
Yes, I did.
It stood on the nose for a second.
Yes, I did.
Now you know how I felt.
It was terrifying.
Were you sitting there the whole time? This is for you, D. Anderson. You're my boy.
Absolutely.
Sickest moonwalk you ever seen.
You ever seen a taco moonwalk before? Well, now you have.
I seen him staring at Dennis that night when we went to hang out at the barn, that's that's all you got.
Yeah. You didn't see what I did today.
The funny part is in the video, his face changes so quick. Luke has the quickest change from 0 to hero, like when stuff goes bad and then it turns out good. He's like, as soon as the truck sets down, wasn't even worried about it. Number one, woo, y'all see that? Hit the gas. I'm trying to moonwalk all weekend.
I was scared that one. That one scared me. A lot of the other ones I wasn't real worried. I was worried about that one.
I was too.
That wasn't even the biggest fall. Like, if you'd have flipped over, it wasn't that bad.
No, I was
The
worried
other
about all
ones,
the
you were on some
work we were going
steep
to have to
ones
do to
early.
get that thing out of
Yeah,
there.
that
Because it was going to be trapped
horrible.
in between the rock wall, the bed,
wedged.
in between that tree and that rock wall.
Yep.
Might as well lift that thing.
Yeah.
That'd have been known as Toyota Hill. Your truck would have become an obstacle.
But it seems like kind of a trend. Like had to try that waterfall first, but after we knock it out, everybody's like, "Oh, cool, we got this. Let's try it." Because if I'm not mistaken, you and Quinton, and I think you thought that I wasn't going to try this hill.
No, he did because it looked like you were past it. I know that's what it was.
I didn't want to do it, to be honest with you, but I rolled up and it made it a little farther than I thought I could make it. So I was like, "Oh man, this is doable." But I wasn't going to take the Luke approach. Like I was going to make sure I had plenty of momentum to get myself to the top.
Yeah, I made a mistake. First mistake was Quentin was like, "You gonna do it?" And I was like, "And if DJ does it, I'll do it."
No, because we were looking at stuff all day when I was like, we could probably do that. And Logan's like, yeah, we probably could, but we're not going to. And
Yeah.
I was like, all right, whatever.
Because I'm usually a little cautious. I'm not trying to tear stuff up. But it was the end of the day.
Your response kind of surprised me. Like I didn't say anything, but I was like, all right.
Oh no, you whipped your face over.
I said, we're going to try that one? He said, yeah, if D tries it. And it was literally probably one of the sketchiest hills that was possibly doable without it going bad
Yeah.
really easily.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's like, if D goes up it, I'll go up it. I'm like, all right, they got a similar setup car. Like, he's going to watch D, so he knows how much throttle to give it.
Plus, you were like, this ain't my car, so.
Yeah.
And I was like,
So here's some
all right, whatever.
encouragement.
Then we watch D, like, size it up to see how fast he can hit the face without the front of the car getting unsettled for when you get down on the throttle. He got like 2 or 3 runs up checking. He's like, all right, boom, shoots right up. And then at the top, there wasn't enough room for the car to finish out just completely clearing the hill. You had to kind of take a left and side hill the car for a second and turn it out. And I was like, you see what D did? I was like, make sure when you get to the top, you don't let off and stop there. You take a left and, let the car run over. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm good. I was like, all right, whatever. I'm not that worried. And as soon as we started out and we hit the face, I thought that was his run up. I thought it was like and like, you can see me in the video, like I made a mistake too, grabbing the handle on the door, and I was thinking,
seen that.
Like, we're not going fast enough off the jump.
The problem is I was watching DJ do it, and he was running up, but I think my mistake was I didn't run up and get a feel for it far enough up. So when I was running up there, Joey and Trip, they're like, just feel it. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll feel it.
The same guys that were trying to tell me to skim a pond.
Same
Exactly.
guys.
In my taco. Right.
So they're just as bad as freaking Quinton and DJ. So I'm like, all right, I'll get a feel for it. So I go up and I feel it. And I'm like, well, this thing's steady pulling at a low speed. Like, not a problem. I can just drive this thing up. Well, I didn't go past that tipping point because it was kind of gradual, and then it went
No, because you was judging when your rear tires were still on flat ground. That was the problem. And then the car you didn't get on the throttle till we was on the wall. And I'm thinking like, all right, we're not going to make it, but he's going to back out, and then goes full throttle. And I'm thinking, oh my God, we're going over backwards. Like, if this car bounces and hooks, we gone.
Yeah. At that point, I was like, this thing's pretty stuck on the rocks. So
no, it was stuck as in stalled out at wide open throttle.
it never stopped moving.
Oh, yes, it did.
Man.
Yes, it did.
I think the video shows differently.
Bro, you literally twitched the wheel left, and the car snatched towards D and almost turned us like, I was thinking, oh man, we're about to be pointed back down.
Oh no, I had complete control at that point. I knew I needed to get some more grip because I had thrown all the rocks off of where I was spinning because they were flying by my face.
I did not think we were making it.
No, I did.
I was looking at D's face through the window because we're only about 12 foot apart, and I'm thinking like, yep, we about to start going backwards.
I felt confident in it the whole time. No, it was not ideal, but I didn't feel like, we're about to die.
You had no sense of anything. The car you couldn't hear nothing around us. It was just, and I'm thinking like, we're stopped. Like, the car is stalled out.
You know what's crazy is how drastically different the reaction between Logan and Luke is. So whenever it starts getting dicey for Luke, he's no gas, full lock on the brakes. Whenever it starts getting dicey with Logan, bruh, I seen him lean his head down like he was a little boy running as fast as he could and put it on the wood.
Yeah, it was. At that point, it was too far to back out, so I was sending it. It was either going to end badly or it was going to end sweet. That was my idea.
If anybody wants to know what that's called going Dennis Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk to him all Friday night. You get inspired.
Yeah. You're not going to catch any heat. If we hear that thing go down wide open throttle, you gave it all it had.
Yes, sir.
Once
you
it
get
hit
on the
that
brakes,
point, it went wide open.
Luke, you're going to learn this. You're going to get ragged if you go out on the brakes. You're going to get a pat on the back if you go out on the gas.
Well, as soon as I stop driving the truck daily, I'll start hitting the gas a little harder.
Start going out on the gas.
Yeah.
Especially when somebody tells you, hey, hit the gas.
Yeah.
Don't not hit the gas.
Yeah, dude, I gave you a pep talk in advance, like let you know, like this is how it's going to play out, Luke.
Yeah, you actually literally told the future.
Yeah.
Is what you did.
And it played out just like I suspected.
Exactly like you expected. And you know what I didn't do?
Hit the gas.
Exactly what you told me to do.
Yeah, exactly what I told you to do.
I think what we need to do to Toyota that I've seen that's iconic on vehicles that go Dennis Anderson, we probably need to take the crankcase vent and run it out the bottom of the truck so you can see it steaming, when you really get wild on it.
So people know when he's on the gas?
Oh, man. You like stock exhaust, can't hear anything, but all of a sudden if they see the crankcase vent, maybe you getting a donut, maybe you're moonwalking it, they're going to know. They're like, oh, that was all it had.
Maybe you're getting a four-wheel drive Cyclone competition in the Taco.
Yeah.
Which it did get turned into a competition vehicle. You know what's crazy is we ended up taking your Taco, Tripp's Jeep, and Mr. Mal's Jeep to the drag strip that was designed for ATVs and side-by-sides. The only reason I say it was designed for that is because the camera guy came up to Josh while y'all were drag racing and was like, I think that's the only vehicles that have ever actually been on the track, man. I've never seen a truck out here before.
Kind of like disclaiming. So in the next company meeting, he'd be like, I told him trucks
Yes.
weren't allowed on it.
But what's crazy is it didn't ever enter my mind. Like there was side-by-sides racing, there was ATVs racing down this drag strip, and I thought, oh, we've got trucks,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
let's race them.
6,000
the
pound
first
vehicle
thing-
beside him.
First thing y'all did was like, Luke, get your truck. Grab the keys, get in your truck.
Well, like it's an off-road vehicle at that point. And,
Yeah.
and I thought about it. I was like, maybe we shouldn't race these out here. But when I started seeing the times that were clicking off, I was like, well, they're slower than the side-by-sides anyway. It's just 6 times heavier.
Right.
So whatever.
But you was putting a whoop down on some people out there.
Oh, yeah.
Trip. Oh, my boy Trip Pulling. Shout out to Trip Pulling and Joey. I don't know Joey. What's Joey's last name?
Beck.
Hicks?
Beck.
Joey Beck.
Beck.
Is that it? Mm-hmm. Pro Rock. Pro Rock Racing. Boys showed us a good time this weekend, hung out with us, were a good time, but they got drug by the taco.
They did. Twice.
2 times.
Twice.
And swapped lanes because they thought it was lane
Sure
choice.
did. They sure did.
They were like, oh, let's get in this lane. It pulls better.
And I seen
No,
and
y'all
I,
just sleeping on the light.
and I seen Trip go to manual shift just in case he needed to get the shift points up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Still beat him.
Also, I noticed the second run too. They turned off like the AC in the vehicle and everything.
Oh, yeah, trying to get all the power.
Still had
And they
mine
had
rolling.
both their girls in the Jeep, and they're like, "Get out!"
Yeah, get out.
They dropping weight.
They took the front passenger side headlight out so get some ram air. They were not going to be beat.
Joey, get out and pull the air filter off this thing.
Get the back seats out of this thing.
But for real, when we first lined up on the line, Quinton was in my passenger seat, and he was like, all right, when you see that light come on, give it, like, you got to two-step this thing. You got to launch it off the line.
Well,
and
another thing-
I was like, all right, we're doing it. And so I put it in first, 4 high, put it in first, dropped the clutch, and we launched off the line. We had them. And then I dropped it in second and dropped the clutch again, and the clutch started slipping.
Just
in
went
second.
away.
Oh, it just went away.
Oh,
and
we can smell it. Don't worry.
oh, yeah, it smelled terrible all day the next day, too.
I'll be honest, that's the only time I've ever actually heard your truck on the rev limiter is when the clutch was slipping.
Yeah, it just bang, bang. Yeah. But, yeah, we did it twice, beat him twice.
I can tell you get tunnel vision though, because the reason I roped you too was I've never seen so many people that didn't know how staging lights worked on a drag strip.
Oh, my God.
We watched everybody red light just because they didn't know how to break the first beam, the second beam.
Or just not even going on green. Like,
Yeah.
You time it. Yellow, 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 go.
Yeah.
Like, it's not hard.
Yeah, you don't have to wait for the green light to flash. And
That's the
then
mistake
go.
everybody makes
Yeah.
is they wait till they see green and then they take
And
off.
then, yeah, which is
Everybody
already too
knows you
late.
go half yellow.
Yes.
Yeah, my
Yep.
ET times are on point. And those,
Luke
bad.
was too, man, dude. I'll be honest with you, but he got tunnel vision. He the first race when I was like, all right, launch it, and I'm thinking, man, because they had concrete at the first part, so you couldn't dig out the
really?
track. Yeah, and then it went to like hard clay,
Yeah.
which was cool.
That's sweet.
And we left the first time, and I was like, oh dang, like this thing will go and didn't bog. I mean, it was just perfect. Boom, we were gone. First race, smoked them. Second race, lane swap, and I'm like, hey, do the same thing. I was like, but the truck doesn't sound like it's revved up. Like, I can't hear it. Are you revving it up? And he's like, I left it like 1,800, 2,000. Then I went to the
No,
floor. And I'm
33.
like, all right, cool. Oh, the first time?
Yeah.
That's not what you told me. You sandbagging me anyways. So I was like, well, we know majority of vehicles peak torque is 4,500. So I'm like, put this thing at 4,500, get out of the clutch faster, grab second, but no lift shift. Don't let off the gas when we go into second. He's like, all right, second race, dude, it left hard. Like, we lunged a truck
Yeah.
length out on him. And I was like, yeah, we got him. And then, boom, he grabs second. And I'm looking at everybody to the right. And, like, I don't feel the truck accelerate anymore, but I hear it revving up. And Luke's like, just
I'm
freaking.
trying. I'm like, I can see
If
the
you-
finish line. I'm
Oh,
like, go,
bro.
little man, go, little man.
If you would have looked from the front of the truck over the dash, you would have just seen eyeballs. It was so low. And I was like, Luke, let off. Something's not right. The clutch is slipping. And he's like, what? It is, huh? And I'm like, dude, you don't smell that?
Look,
It was bad.
I was winning.
Focus.
I was winning that.
No
drag
matter
race.
what.
No matter, like the whole truck could have exploded. I was winning that.
And you
race.
got pulled that race, didn't you? But you won on
I
time.
still won. Yeah, I barely won.
Yeah.
But he was catching up.
The
Dude, it
first
smelled
half of the track, we
horrible.
won the race, and the second, we rolled it. We
Yeah.
lost the clutch. We rolled to the finish.
Yep.
Still grabbed the W, though,
Still grabbed the W.
until Mr. Mao
Yep.
came out. Man, I don't think that was clutch. I don't think that was not leaving at a high enough RPM. Mr. Mao was just going to drag
Yeah, he
you
just
that night.
left me.
Yeah, he just drug you that night.
I don't know what Jeeps leave and what their peak power is, but he was in it.
You can guarantee Mr. Mao had it at peak power when
That's
he
probably red line when he left, and it
No,
left
I
pretty
asked
good
him.
with 38s.
Dude, he had it so stalled up, I could see the headlights twisting in the dark.
That's what he told us. He pulled over there and he said, I had it leaned up like this.
Literally, that's exactly what he said.
Dude, he had the body of that Jeep so twisted up. So he ended up taking it, and he was actually running faster times than some of the side-by-sides out there. Like Mr. Mal put it down.
Yeah, it was impressive on that big old Jeep.
The trip didn't start off well. There was one casualty before we even got out of town.
Oh, that's
The phone call. I'm just
right.
settled in the truck eating snacks.
He started getting sleepy breath.
We wasn't 5 miles from the shop.
No, 2
20
miles.
And I knew it was something of mine because I hear Dustin go, hold on, what'd you say?
Oh, yeah, I
And
called
wants
him
to put it
first.
on speaker.
Yeah, I was like, hold on, let me let him hear this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like we were right behind y'all and watched that helmet smash into the ground, and we're like, "Oh, that thing's gone. It's gone." And I just pulled past it. I was like, "Whatever, that helmet's gone."
Bruh, Luke was just giving up on our homeboy's helmet.
I said, Luke, that is Quinton's helmet. He was like, oh, it is? Like, never checked it.
$600 helmet.
Yeah. I was like, Luke, like, there's a whole side of the road here. Pull over,
We can
buddy.
stop and get this.
Let's go back and get
Luke's like, no, he's gone.
It's
man.
gone.
We're gonna start doing that to you.
It's cracked in half.
We're gonna start doing that to you from now on at the rides. Like,
Madison don't want to stop.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of trouble. Well, y'all, Luke's gone, man. We lost him. That's it.
He can't climb that hill, so we're just going to leave him there and get him stuck on a tree.
Hey,
Let
in
him go.
my defense, I pulled over, slammed it in reverse, and went in reverse on the highway for like half a mile.
Full whiskey and oncoming traffic. And everything.
Kept it straight, though?
Oh, kept it
Straight. Straight. Yeah, the K-rail rubbing up against the
He
truck.
didn't get
but-
forklifted?
No, he's good.
I still can't believe our boy was just gonna give up on QD's helmet. Like
Hey,
that.
I got the helmet.
He
We got it back.
said, I didn't want to lose him. I didn't know where I was going. I said, Luke, we got a GPS in 6.5 hours. Like, we'll catch them. It'll be okay.
Well, I also didn't know we were the last people in line. I thought Cody and
was
Mr.
behind us.
Mal were behind us, so I figured that. And I mean, like if that helmet flew past us, like it hit, and I was surprised it didn't hit and come at us.
Oh, yeah, it was close to coming at us.
Luke can't play on our paintball team,
No, yeah, this coming up weekend.
Okay.
You ain't on my team. These enemies.
I'll play on the other team.
bro. When you play with me and Quentin, we stand back to back and we battle. Not until we get hit with paintballs, because I'll wipe a paintball. 'Cause I'll stand there and wipe paintballs till the referee makes me leave the
Or
court.
until you run out of paintballs.
Yes.
And I'm not scared to break the rules and get that part. I'm yelling through the net. When I'm out, I'm telling D where they're at. I'm like, hang on, let me run around the other side of the field and spot him. He's over here.
Literally-
I'm running around pointing at people.
Literally, Quentin will get shot whenever we're battling paintball. He'll walk through their whole territory. There's one behind the blue bunker. There's two in this triangle one. And they'll be like, dude, shut up. You can't do that.
You're dead, basically.
Quentin's like, you shut up.
Quinn's like, this is war. What are you talking about?
That's all true stories, too.
But you, on the other hand,
We know you ain't got that in you.
yeah, you break a toenail out on the course. Well, I guess I'm done, guys. I ain't got nothing left.
my hopper
Hey.
came open and I lost 3 paintballs. I'm out.
This
I don't
is
have
where it
enough.
ends.
I don't know about all that. We'll see. It's only been.
But we saved the helmet, and that $600 helmet held up amazingly
It
for
did.
going 75 miles per hour like a ping pong ball down the road.
It did.
Yeah, it did. Shout out to whoever our helmet sponsor wants to be in the future.
You make a good
No,
helmet.
no. Don't say that out loud.
okay.
Beep that out, Josh. Shout out to our helmet sponsor that's coming up. Whoever you want it to be, that your helmet held up amazing at 70 miles an hour with a trailer running over it. Shout out to y'all.
We'll write you an email after this, see if they want to participate.
Yeah.
So there were some more casualties.
We're going
though.
to CC everybody. Impact helmets, freaking
I need
Bell
Fox.
helmets. We're going to literally CC them, not BCC, CC them all. in
Just
the
let
same
'em know?
email. Yeah.
Hey, bidding starts now.
Have you ever heard of Checkers or Wreckers?
We got 3,000 views.
If you add them all together.
Collectively. We don't do anything consecutively around here.
If you add them all together.
So what about, there were some more drag race casualties.
Yeah.
Was there?
Oh, yeah.
Philip.
Feels clutch.
Oh,
Yes.
that's right.
That was hilarious.
Dude, the only Polaris in the group, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It wasn't even Sunday either.
Well,
We-
in our group, Joey and Trip had one. But,
that was the thing about this weekend.
They
too.
weren't doing that.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
That's the thing about this weekend. None of us were in consideration. You know, Sunday riding, like our last day, we're like, all right, we'll try that hill. We'll do this. We'll do that. And we had nothing broke this weekend.
Yeah.
Besides his. Literally nothing. Yeah.
Dude, we had a
A
good
lot of
weekend.
those.
We had a good weekend.
It was a blast.
Yeah, it was. For sure. We got out lucky.
We
Phil
did.
exploded his clutch. You put some little scuffs in the taco. Bow got us whooped on the creek. No, let me retract that. You about got whooped on the creek bed. Backed into some random dude.
Oh my god!
Literally pulled up to this little creek crossing. It was easy. 7 of us went through it in front of him. He watches us go through, and we all kind of went through different spots. And
Yeah, everyone went through different spots.
But when you
you-
have 7 cars and you go through in different spots,
You
that's
can pick.
about 70 feet wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he lines
Well,
up behind
hold on.
cord that went hood deep and was like, all right, I guess I'll try here. you know what it reminds me of? It's like when you ask a little kid a question, you're just like, hey, do you want a piece of candy or do you want a whooping? Well, the last thing the kid heard was whooping. So he's like, I want a whooping.
Okay, hold on. This was right after I came down that big old hill.
So you were
That
still
rock.
all jacked up.
I
in the
was
head.
like still scared, like still worried, and then
I went through this creek about 4 hours ago, but I don't know what to do
yeah,
now.
I was all crossed up, and then everybody goes to the creek, and I'm in a little taco. I'm like, I gotta find a good spot to go through this thing, and it seemed like none of the spots were very good spots. So I was like, okay. And then Mr. Mal gets over on the radio and he's like, hey, go over to the right. And I was like, okay, cool. So I slap it in reverse to go over to the right.
Never
And-
looks behind him.
Okay, I did look behind me, but he was on top of me.
But the whole thing was,
Toyota's the top of the bed, ain't but 2 foot off the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
Mr.
can
Mal-
see anybody.
Mr. Mal said, go to the right. And Luke starts going to the right. And he's like, no, my right. So Luke starts going the other way. And he's
Yeah.
like, no, your left, my right.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And so I backed into that guy, and that put me at another level. And I was like, oh my gosh, the day's getting long.
That's
now.
when he's like, I'm going home.
Yeah,
thing
this is
starts
it. I'm going
snowballing.
home.
Well, it was, did the waterfall thing. We hung out for like 30 minutes. So you got a little bit of chill time.
Yep.
Then you backed into the guy.
Yep.
You made it to the creek unscathed.
Yep.
Got out of the creek and immediately
fell
went whiskey
into
right into another pothole.
Into another pothole. And I was like, my day's over. This is it. I'm going home. I'm going home. This is it.
It wasn't your decision that your day was over, though. Let's be honest with you.
Probably not. I mean,
Matter of fact, can we just get on to that right now? We're going to start a new bit that we're going to call relationship advice.
boy.
Okay?
Dude, he's getting nervous.
here we go.
Sweating.
Oh, no.
And this weekend, it has to do, or excuse me, this podcast, it has to do with you and Madison.
We're just viewer opinions, open mind here.
Yeah.
We're telling you an unbiased story.
So
we're not biased either
let's
way.
just
She
break it.
watches all these.
Let's just yes,
by the way.
does she?
So her mom.
Okay,
She's
good.
watched every one.
I think she's going to agree with our advice. And
Go
so,
ahead and tell Madison that you love her before we start this.
I love you.
how long have y'all been together?
Year and a half.
A year and a half. And y'all lived in the same town?
Yep.
Y'all did. Lived together?
Well, no. Well, we went to the same college and we're in the same group.
Got it. And y'all
Yeah.
lived together?
No, she lived with her parents in Ruston.
Y'all were in the same sorority?
Yep. Absolutely.
Got it.
Now she lives in Ruston. You live here.
Yep.
But y'all see each other regularly. You brought her kind of on the first S3 trip with you this time.
Yep. On
right?
this weekend. Yep.
And she's kind of the one that made you leave, right?
She definitely was in the
Yeah.
back of my mind a
Yeah.
little bit there, kind of poking at my head.
Right, because it's because you care about her and you don't want nothing to happen to
Yeah.
her, right?
Yeah.
Was she physically poking you in the back of the head, or
No. She was just kind of like making comments, and it was after we came down the hill and was like, I got scared, and I was like, but then also Cord and Phil were ready to go too, so we were.
Let's not blame it on them. Let's
Yeah.
talk about
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
Madison.
yeah.
So what
My
kind of
bad.
comments
My
was
bad.
she making to you like at that time?
I mean, I don't remember because I was still scared.
Summarize.
Good answer
solid
to
answer?
not answer.
That's a good play it safe.
Let's just speculate what was she saying.
let's just
speculate.
Wildly speculate.
Yeah, let's get into some wild speculation about what she was saying.
So I would imagine it probably went like this when y'all went down that hill and made it. She was like, I told you not to do that with my truck. And I'm pretty sure I heard that she pulled the glove box down. She's like, you see this name on this registration? Mine and yours.
I'm going to wildly speculate whenever you went down that hill like that, she said, hey, take me over to Dustin. I want to ride with him.
She was like, you are not fit to drive.
I want to ride with Dustin the rest of the time.
I told you were a CAD designer with those keyboard hands.
These are not off-road hands.
You can't have two designers in your title.
No, but it did freak her out, and she. We were both ready to go. It was a long day. I was at 110% in that Tacoma all day. It felt like, so we were both kind of ready to go.
When you say y'all were both ready to go, she was ready to go.
Right,
and
right.
you knew that was your only option.
Yep.
What's
Yep.
that?
Luke
Yep.
was
Now
like,
that I think about
Luke
it.
was like 40% ready to go.
Yeah, yeah.
And then after all those cards started falling, all the domino effect of the struggle bus that he was on. It was just
He was looking for an excuse.
yeah. There was an excuse, and he was like, "Madison's a little sleepy. I think she's not feeling well." And he was like, "Thank God I can get out here now."
It's like Quinton with arm wrestling contests. When somebody says, "Hey, does anybody want to arm wrestle?" That's literally all Quinton needs. Yup, I will. Take my shirt off.
Yep. Shirt's gone.
Take my shirt off. Time to arm wrestle.
Might as well. I'm done with that. I literally had tennis elbow when I left Teague's baseball practice today, and the only thing I had there was Ezekiel on the leash, and I was just holding him the whole time because he's still not leash trained. He's pretty bad. And then I get to the truck, and I'm like, dude, you know when you get a pain like so deep that like you just need fresh, cool air? I rode with the windows down the whole way home on cruise control. I was in so much pain. I got tennis elbow, and I only arm wrestled like once or twice. So I don't know what's going on.
It was 3 times.
It was 3 times, but that didn't include last weekend when you were arm wrestling on top of the trash can lid.
So I can't do consecutive weekends.
Yeah, I think it's just the back-to-back weekends.
You gotta take a break.
Dude, it had me in a bind. It was, for whatever reason, inflamed. But
In all serious though, Luke, like for you to drive your daily the way you did, like I was pretty impressed.
It was.
And for you to go home and bow out for the rest of the day while it's still driving, I'm okay with that.
Because you didn't trailer yours. You drove it there.
I drove it there.
Wheeled it.
Yep.
And drove it home.
And drove it home.
And she made it fairly unscathed.
Yeah, she did pretty good except for the dent in the bumper.
But he was a little bit scared.
Well, it's because he backed into that,
Yeah,
dude.
it's
what
his
did you
fault.
What did you back into? What was it?
And it was a side-by-side.
It was a 2003 Rhino.
Oh, dude. So that's like equivalent to backing it into an old cop car. You're about to pay for something that is already so. It's not even
It's gone.
You might as well just pull out a checkbook and buy it side by side from him.
Yeah.
You should have been like, you selling that? Selling that?
Put it in the back of the taco.
What confused
Pull
me
it up,
is,
pull it
what,
up.
What confused me is we drove through there earlier that day, right? You crossed
yeah.
that creek too.
Yeah.
So how did you not remember the line you took?
It was a long day.
I literally don't remember. I remember we came through there. I was like, did he go around? Does he not? Because that's what I'm like.
No, I
what
pulled
is-
through there.
What is he doing? Like he knows where to go. In your defense, what we did see the first time crossing was a Jeep Cherokee. So they
my.
because that creek was real odd. It's a bunch of fallen boulders that make the creek. So there's spots that just turn into you go from Mexican deep ends to Olympic dive pools.
Yes.
And that Jeep thought they were going to be
Yeah.
funny with their buddies and drive down the creek.
Nope.
And everything in the back of that thing, they had the hatch open, all of it
floating.
Car seat, cooler. I mean, just everything.
All cold
dude.
drinks, they was floating
Oh,
out.
Yeah.
that's fun. So I get it, Luke. You were nervous at that point.
The
And-
only thing showing on that Cherokee was the hood. Everything else was in the water.
Oh, yeah.
well, the line
And
he
then they
picked.
backed it up farther in the water.
Oh yeah, they did push it off.
Yeah, they pushed
were
off and
just,
started floating.
well, what choice you guys? Let it float down river.
It's just like
Let's get to a
Luke.
shallow spot.
I guess it's gone. It's gone. Let it go.
Yeah.
Just Cherokee's gone. It's still. You're like, bro, it's still running. Just put it in drive and pull out.
Get a winch.
No, it's gone.
We've got a new phrase when you highway helmet.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's like the 10-20. It's like don't pass the grass line. It's
That
just
thing's highway helmeted.
Man.
It's gone.
It's gone. She a goner.
gone.
That's funny.
But
All things considered, we got out pretty good, except for when we got back to the truck, because the little town of Disney was packed full.
And they got a pretty good business structure there because we were all like the whole weekend. Obviously, Jason funded everything at the park for everybody. Shout out to Jason for an awesome weekend. But we were like, this is a state park. It's free, and like everywhere you go, nothing's free. Even state stuff your taxes pay for. They got to maintain it and everything like that. But this entire park was how many acres? Do y'all know?
Don't know. Lot of crawling.
Yeah, a lot of big area, and we were like completely free. All right, cool. I had no idea how many people were going to be there, right? So we pull in, there's trucks and cars everywhere, and I was like,
The town was packed.
They said it like quadruples in population or something.
Yeah, I
on
would
that
believe
weekend.
it. I would believe it.
but I mean, all of us know when we see population of 500.
Yeah, dude, that's not that many people. It's only 2,000
You're
people.
like-
That many people.
All right. Well, so then we're driving in, and I'm co-driving this whole time, sleeping, snacking,
Sleeping.
and I don't know if y'all know if you travel with D, the start of the mornings and the end of the trip is the most stressful. You got to be ready to go that morning on time, or he is stressed to no
yeah.
end, dude. It's
It's
crazy.
misery.
It looks like a caught raccoon in the trash can, like just stressed. So we get all the way to town. We're weaving through, and of course we have a 50-foot trailer, dude. So it's a handful to park. Like you can't be making wrong turns in this little place, or it'll add 30 minutes to your morning, and it did. So we're driving around like, where do we park? Where do we park? They had more money and no parking signs than
yeah.
I've seen at a courthouse.
Oh yeah.
And we
Like-
found out that was a trap.
it's not free.
It's
so
not
we're thinking
free.
like, bro, this has got to be like deterrent. And they're like, all right, we'll let a couple people park as long as they don't get parked way out in the road and block everything up. And literally, I mean, that town where we could park was a couple 100 acres, maybe at best, and there was literally a no parking sign everywhere. And then we start seeing, we're like, all right, hold on. Not all these people own all this property. So the people are parking in no parking zones. So, and it would be like a no parking zone at the start of a start of a high line, like just dirt behind it and trees cut down. And we're like, dude, we're just gonna park down here.
Because everybody else was. It wasn't like we were the only ones parked down there.
Yeah, it wasn't like there was 50 camp spots set up on that little road.
And there was probably 150 trucks parked around us.
Yeah, I'm in between bag of gushers, woke back up, grabbing another one. I wake up to, I hear like a ruckus. My ears, you know, mine tune in. When something's about to go down,
That's when Quinton wakes up.
you sober up, you wake up.
When something's popping off.
Yeah, you're like,
something.
hold on, this ain't right. So I wake up, and Dustin and this lady are freaking shoulders back, neck stretched, about to kiss each other, it looks like, screaming at each other.
Me
I'm
and
like,
Karen.
what? Yeah, and then I
Was
thought,
that
I
first
was
thing
like,
in the morning?
Yeah, that
Yes,
was right
I
when
was-
we got there.
I was like, hold on. I was like, maybe they're joking. I thought she was joking because it looked like a WWE match was about to go down. I see her square up. This lady's pretty big. This is a city-sized trash can, and she stands over it to where she can grab both top parts, and she takes it and bounces it 4 times, like showing Dustin all 4 sides. And I'm like, they must be joking. And then I see on the trash can is both to it says no trespassing, no parking. Will be towed at owner's expense or something like that. So she goes, you see this? And tempoed it with those 4 words, 4 sides of the trash can. And Dustin goes, we just ran into the sheriff. They told us we could park here. And she goes, there ain't no sheriff here. And Dustin goes, well, I don't care who it was. They had a uniform and badge on, whoever he is. They told me we could park down here. And that's when she showed him the trash can. And I'm in the truck like, all right, it's not going to go down, but this is funny. So I'm cracking up.
Bro,
I'm
he did
eating
this
one
too.
gusher at a time.
He did this when she said, we don't have sheriffs. He said, well, whatever you do have, arms out. She was...
I think the best part about that though was she does all that, and then DJ kind of backs off, and she gets on her little earpiece.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And goes, call Jerry Harrison. It's like, what in the world is she doing?
Yeah, she was trying to look so official. Call him right now.
And she
Call
couldn't
him.
get it to work. She was
No.
doing it like multiple
That's
times.
what made her mad.
She kept hitting it and hitting it and kept spinning and looking.
And I'm
Looking at all
thinking
the
the
other
whole
trucks
time,
parked there.
and I'm thinking the whole time, like, that's not the landowner. She's calling whoever she knows with a tow truck.
Mm-hmm.
That was cracking me up because she literally, I could hear that. She had one of the cheap earpieces too. I
Oh,
could hear it click instead of like being touched, like like a whole crappy garage door opener. She's like, call Jerry Nichols, call Jerry Nichols, and then she turns around trying to whisper it so we're not all laughing at her. Yeah, her face was getting red, dude, cracking me up. So you just were like, whatever, lady, like call them. So we just started unloading.
I thought I kind of told her what's up because I was like, we talked to that cop down there. He told us we
Yeah.
could park down there. We ain't going nowhere. And so I thought,
Well, like you said, there was
Kinda won
there
that.
was literally tents around that
been
trash can.
sleeping.
Yeah,
it
they-
looked like somebody brought their own trash can and was like, "Hey, we're gonna keep people parking."
We couldn't
here."
even see. Well, I didn't see the signs until she went, full Price is Right or whatever, and spun the thing around.
I didn't see it either.
And then I was like, oh, it says no parking there.
So we
Well, that
go.
sucks. We're already parked, so we're going.
No parking. Well, we did, so.
That's done.
Me and Logan notice. Nobody else does. We get out, everything unloaded. Everybody like cruises down, and we go down towards the spillway, which we'll get to. Was freaking insane. We see that. We come back up, and I look down there, and I'm like, the cops are down there, but they were way down in our
they were at
truck.
the other
and I
end.
was like, okay, they're either just talking to her or telling people to move out of there, or they're starting at the back and they on a mission. And so we pass them up, and I'm like, they're observant. Like, everybody saw the cops. I guess they're not worried about it. And so we pass them up, and we're rolling through town, and that was just the first run-in with the cops that we didn't know we were going to have. We're driving through town, and we're on the road, and there's literally, we're just looking at everybody, checking everything out, and some guys walking in New Balances, slightly green stained.
Yeah, slightly green stains with ankle highs.
Yeah.
with blue jean shorts, but the ones that got the hems at the bottom.
Yeah,
Very pressed and pleated.
Not jorts.
with the hammer
Blue
loop,
jean
with the hammer
shorts.
loop,
Yeah.
with the hammer loop. So, he's got. I think he had a beer in his hand. I'm pretty sure he did, and he's like, off the road, and I hear him yelling so loud. D's in front of us, and then I'm like, well, who's that? And then we see him. He's like, off the road, and I'm like. And it was that questionable tone where they're like, is he yelling at us? Like, because he's a town guy and like trying to play freaking,
Yeah, he had like his
Road
grandkids with
police?
him. Are you trying to be that guy?
Yeah.
Or do you have authority?
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'll slightly pull off the road.
So I looked
see
to
what
the
everybody
right.
else is doing.
Yeah, we're crossing a bridge at this time too, so we had to get on the road. And then I'm looking right past him. There's UTVs passing him. I'm like, this dude don't know what he's talking about. Like, he's from town and just don't want people riding on the road. So whatever, he ain't got one. He's mad about it. But then I look to the right and I'm like, oh man, I'm an idiot. It's beat down rock path when you cross a bridge.
Yep.
Well, that's like business owner storefront properties, tracked out. So I was like, okay, so Logan's like, yeah, let's go and get over here. And as soon as we get over, then I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, it's got signs that says no UTVs or off-road vehicles on the road. So Dustin keeps it on the road, and he radios, and we get over. But anyway.
It wasn't without tempting fate.
No, and then as we're coming back, the cops had people pulled over.
Yeah.
And we're, I'm sure, writing tickets because after the day's riding,
Yes, sir.
we come back to the truck thinking, bro, we're unscathed. Ain't nothing broke, nothing torn up.
was a good day.
Everything's loaded up.
Solid day.
And I'm looking, and Mal goes, they wrote us tickets. And I said, no, they didn't just write us tickets. Every truck down that high line, I could probably see 15 tickets.
Oh, yeah. Easily 15
And the
tickets.
funny part is it says no parking, and they know you're from out of town. You ain't coming back to the court date.
No.
It said $208 on it.
Oh, it already had the price on it.
Yeah, they
I was
wrote
wondering
on
how
it.
y'all knew that.
That's what was crazy to me. So when we got out and grabbed that ticket, it was $208 for the no parking zone. Like I told Quinton, if they would have told me in advance it's a $208 fine for, I would have gone parked on Main Street in the no parking zone.
Where we were the first time when they told us
Exactly.
not to, we'd told the cop, hey, look, man, this is a 53-foot trailer. This is where it's going to stay.
Yeah,
So
just
how much is
let me
it?
pay. That's basically to me was an entry fee for us into the state park.
Yeah.
It's $208. I'll pay that to park up here.
I don't have to pay to fix anything.
Yeah.
And my X3 is not broke.
Exactly.
I'll pay that.
I'll pay it.
So I wasn't there when y'all got the tickets, but that's the first time I'm hearing about it. But it's crazy because the cop told y'all to park over there.
Yeah, no, that's what we told
Well,
Karen.
yeah.
That's what we
Yeah.
told Karen, and that's how we ended up there.
And so like he kind of knew he would.
Oh.
He knew he was
set
writing
us
down
up
tickets.
for that
He was
$208.
just tucking us away so somebody else could get a ticket right there.
Is Luke onto a conspiracy?
Yeah, is this some
Yeah.
conspiracy going
It's-
on around here? Did they entrap us?
I think they trapped us.
I think what it probably is like that's Indian all owned land, and they were like, apparently they're not for a ton of gross. They were like, no, we're not going to start charging. That makes it official. And then the local cops were like, yeah, we're not going to charge.
I know
no
how we can
parking
get 'em.
everywhere.
Everywhere.
$208. But like you said, I would have been super ticked off if it was just if like I would have drove my truck and we'd had one truck per bike, but we had 5 bikes on the trailer.
Dude.
It was divided amongst everybody. D paid that ticket for us. Thank y'all, S3 Power Sports. Look at it that way. That's cheaper than anywhere we rode, and the place was cool. So y'all, when you go ahead and plan on either taking your license plate off because they literally had S3 Power Sports LLC. They done ran the full
Ran the
truck,
plates
all.
and everything.
Knew it all.
had all the information wrote down.
But what I'm saying,
get there on Wednesday and find the one or two
No.
parking places and park.
No, this is what I'm saying. Our word of advice from Checkers or Wreckers is when you go out there, find your very best parking spot. Put as many rigs on your trailer as you can so you can split the ticket 4, 5, 6 different ways. Park on Main Street and get the $200 fine and just pay that and go ride all day. Because we literally had that truck parked there all day long, and they didn't put more than one ticket on it. So we only had to pay that fine one time.
Matter of fact, what we're going to do at the end of this video for y'all is we're going to put the information so you can go ahead and write a check and leave it in your window where they put our ticket, $208.
Here's the envelope, Karen. Take
How
the
better
money.
than that? Let's start a GoFundMe right now to help fund Checkers or Wreckers on this $208 ticket. We're going to need your help. And for only 25 cents a person,
We can park for free.
we can park. So,
Josh, can we add the sad music like
Yeah,
those animal
cue up
videos?
Sarah McLachlan.
Cue up
Cue
some
Sarah
Sarah.
McLachlan.
yeah, and just let it play.
Arms of an angel.
Oh,
If you can find it in your heart, keep going.
I don't know the rest. That's the only part I know.
please. Oh my God. But hold on. I think the spillway was the coolest thing to me.
Spillway
it
was
was wild.
insane.
I never seen nothing like that though.
Never.
That was some Earth Power that you see on Discovery Channel.
Truth.
Squirrel Nuts, you're an engineer, so let's go through this real quick. That spillway was huge.
When do you have to start it like that?
That spillway was huge. There was only 6 of probably the 13, 14, 15 gates open, and it was just spilling over. But the water was flowing down that river like I've never seen, like an insane amount of volume of water coming through there with only those 6 gates open. How was that possible?
See, the amount of water coming out and the amount of pressure that it was applying on the amount of water was coming out had the velocity super high because, pressures and velocities work like that.
Didn't you just take your FE exam the other
Yep.
day? Did
Yep.
you pass that?
I passed the fluid section.
No, that's not what I said.
not what he said.
Did you pass the exam?
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about
What
that.
exam? Hold on, this is news to me. What exam? What is this exam?
Fundamentals of engineering. It's after you
Yeah.
graduate from engineering, you can immediately take your fundamentals of engineering, and then you on your job title, you can put FE or IE or something like that.
I mean, yeah, you're fundamental. So if you get your FE, you're officially an engineering.
Yeah.
engineering
I just got
trainee.
back from a snowboard trip with them. They told me you can start working and get pay prior to, but you can't sign off on plans, right?
that's
So yeah,
PE.
yeah.
You can take
so
your PE exam.
FE is literally just the preliminary certificate for a profession.
Literally,
You
y'all
didn't
keep in
even
mind-
make it through the prelims?
Look at, that's what I'm saying. Y'all keep in mind, it's the preliminary. It's the fundamentals.
So yeah, I didn't study for it enough and did not pass it. I kind of expected it.
then
I
you
kind of took
don't
the first
even
one as
know
a practice.
what the hell's going on at that dam, do you?
No, he doesn't because there's not enough water coming out of those gates to cause what was going on.
That's
at the
what I'm
bottom.
saying.
There's gates at the bottom. Yeah,
Now I know how y'all
they
got
do
such a
it
good
at
dude.
Caddo. They do it at the river.
They open the bottom.
This
Yeah,
dude
there's
couldn't
bottoms
work for
opened
the
up.
city water plant.
No, because he kept saying, "Look at all that water coming out the top." And how
Dude, I want
hard
to
it
take
is."
I want to take the damn walk around with him.
Let him, Luke gives you your best tour,
Yeah, the,
wildest speculation
I
tour.
want to take the damn tour with Luke and just listen to him explain to people. Well, there's a lot of water coming over this thing. Okay, if you really had to calculate, you take the square footage divided by the cubic meters.
And you stick your finger down in the water and see how fast it's going.
like when you were a kid on your dad's bass boat hanging out the side.
You hold the water, hold the hand out.
You can't slow the boat down. I'm just gonna tell you.
Yep.
Not funny to you?
Nope. Because I knew there was water coming out the bottom, and I didn't even know y'all were trying to make fun of me for that until y'all.
First of all, you don't know anything because you didn't even make it through the prelims.
Yeah.
Luke's never coming on a podcast again. You thought it was rough at work. I mean,
You just didn't know
get
how rough it was
recorded.
going to be a podcast. But
Yeah.
there is a moment of celebration tonight for you, Luke. We're going to celebrate what you put the taco through. And I'm going to have to hand the belt off on Manny's behalf to Luke Moreau.
Oh,
Taking home the championship belt.
Dang.
I got the belt.
The waterfall spill,
No regrets.
no regrets
regrets.
is what the belt says.
Oh, yeah.
Not climbing the hill, getting it crossed up in the water hole, backing into that dude. Man, the taco just did things this weekend.
falling
It did
off
things
in
this weekend.
the water pothole.
Yeah.
and,
Crossing,
getting
rising.
And
freaked
crawling
out.
out. crawling out of it.
Yeah, because it was a foot deep.
So we're not really
We're not
giving
talking
it to
about it.
you. We're giving it to the taco.
Crossing Rising
I'll
Creek.
keep it in
That
there.
thing better be on the dash in the morning.
You're just carrying it on behalf of the taco.
I'm proud of it.
But you did a good job. Let's give Luke a round of applause.
I'm proud of you.
Guest on the show bringing home the belt on his first try.
Thank you.
But it's kind of questionable because you didn't pass the prelims.
I'm gonna pass.
That's kind of weird. I don't know any champion that's not past the prelims. This is odd.
You're
How
like,
did he become a champion not even on the main card?
you're like the NIT champion.
It's a good thing Luke got in before we figured out an official structure of this belt situation.
Yeah.
I will not mention how many times DJ had to take that.
Yeah, let's not
exact
talk
same
about
thing.
that. But I don't even claim to be an engineer anymore. I put mine as CAD designer.
Yeah, you went to school and did all and passed all your stuff, right?
Yeah, I did.
Second time.
Well, sounds like Luke's got a tutor.
Listening to Luke trying to put me on blast. You should just say thank you for the belt, okay?
Thank you for the belt. I really appreciate it. I'm very excited to let the taco claim this
You wear
belt.
that thing with pride. Now you take it home and you
Absolutely.
whoop Madison for it.
Yeah, for making you leave on Saturday. Don't even let her touch that.
I don't know. I think she's the one that whoops Luke.
Matter of fact, give the belt back. Give the belt back.
Yeah,
Y'all are going to see him coming tomorrow. He's going to go,
You know when he
Bring
gets
a
home,
pillow to work. And
she's
put
gonna
it
be
up
like,
there.
"Luke, what did y'all talk about on the podcast?" He's gonna be like,
Baby,
we didn't talk
not
about
you.
anything. Well,
Not
we didn't,
you.
we didn't talk about you. That's for sure.
Your name wasn't mentioned not one time.
Ever.
You know what I found going back to some of that relationship advice? You know what I found that really is success of a good relationship is, write this down, the less communication, the better. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely right.
So don't even
100%
tell her
true.
you did the podcast. Let that be a surprise.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Be like, you were on the podcast? When did you go on the podcast? I was like, yep, we didn't talk about you at all.
In fact, I know your phone's been ringing since we've been here. Whenever you go home,
it's weird. He's got it face down.
what I like to do, lie to them. Tell them you weren't here at the podcast. Tell them you had to work late, okay?
Or grocery shopping or
less communication.
Believable
is always better.
Yep.
And white lies, Luke, you can use those, especially when it's to your advantage in a relationship.
I'm going to take this advice to heart and use it constantly.
It's good advice.
I'm gonna tell you right now, your girlfriend better not have seen Dazed and Confused because you in a bind,
Man. But if you want Madison to watch the podcast, she can go to Spotify. She can go to Apple Play. She can go check it out on Facebook, YouTube. That way we can add all of her views
all of the views.
Yeah,
together.
don't just go watch one. Go watch all of them so we get our view count up. We're going to keep adding these things together. And we're going to keep them coming. And that's it for another Checkers or Wreckers.
Heck yeah.
Help scare money, don't make money.